Yeah, this is kind of a special place to be. If you ever come down here, as a citizen of Patronville, just remember this is kind of like hallowed ground in a way. Henry was quite special. Hey everybody. We're just kind of gliding along high in the sky above the countryside right outside the city of Patronville. We're just kind of scoping out whatever lies below in a very narrow swath of land. The realm is a big place, and this is just a very small sample of what's out there. Now there's some missile base below us in a military installation on the right. Now we're coming to a road on the left. I don't know where the road goes to, but I see it branches off to the right. Some kind of structure on the left with a red building blocks. Not sure what that's all about. There's a huge billboard on the left. This appears to be a transmission tower that we're passing over right now. And on the right is one of the labs facilities. And then we come to the city limits of Patronville. Patronville is my realm, and it's growing by leaps and bounds by people that support me on Patreon. There's the lake. Here's some empty lots that have just been rezoned. They're larger than the old lots. I think Izzy just recently finished rezoning those. There's a pirate city below us. There's a volcano with lava spewing out of it. I'm not sure what that structure made of gold is. It looks unfinished, whatever it might be. You can see this features being drawn as we travel. It's one of the limitations of the game, I guess. Or maybe it's just my computer, I'm not sure. There's some beacons that reach into the heavens. Now, what is this down here? This looks like a minecart track. I'd love to ride the mine carts. So I have not seen this until now. I'm not sure where we are, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. That's powered rail, but it doesn't look like it's lit up, so that makes me think maybe it's not powered at the moment. I sure would like to ride that. Let's put a mine cart on it. Yeah, you see it just fell back down. We need to power the rail. I'm not sure who built this, and I hope you don't mind, but let's put a block back in place, the one I just destroyed. There. Let's get some more powered rail. Maybe one more, yeah. Now, I'm not sure if I just powered the rail or if I just illuminated it with this torch. It's been a long time since I've played around with the redstone. Let's get this wood and put some right here. Now, once again, I don't know if I'm actually powering the rail. Maybe what we need is a block of redstone. Or maybe what we need is for me not to be messing around with someone's build. Yeah, whoever built this, I apologize now. Well, let's put a mine cart on it. Oops, there it goes. I kind of gave it a push and it took off. Now, I'm not sure where it went, but it's out of here. It's gone. So let's put another one on the track. Let's jump in it. Here's the end of the line. You know, that was a pretty fun little ride. Now, where are we? I see that structure made of gold that we passed over just a few minutes ago. Let's go out and get a better look. It looks like it's floating in the water. Yeah, there's nothing inside of it. I think it's still under construction. I'll be anxious to see that one finished. Now, this big chicken over here caught my eye. That's definitely a big chicken. Now, close by is this submarine out here. I believe I've toured this submarine in a video. Hey, fellas. Let's just kind of drop down in, take a look. Emergency life vest. There's a big map. There's Lieutenant Henry and Ensign Brown. Hey guys. This way to the radio room and diesel engine and electrical. Here's the radio room. I guess that's the radio operator. There's the diesel engine. There's the mechanic. There's the fuel for it. What's that sign say? Yeah. Fuel reserves. Diesel engine room. So this is an older submarine. It's not nuclear. It has diesel engine. And here's the battery bank. Here's a torpedo room. Yeah, this submarine is much larger inside of it than you would think when you were looking at it from the outside. This way to the forward torpedo room. There's the bunk beds where the crew sleeps. And look at all the TNT. What's that? Is that a lever? Nah. Forward ballast tank. Bless this mess. Welcome to the Patronville SS Creeper. There's Ensign Brown. Again. Captain's log, stardate 45652.1. The SS Creeper has entered an area of coastline known as the Patronville Expanse. We're the first Patronville vessel to chart this unexplored region. Tomorrow we head out for open water to patrol our coast and protect our citizens. Someone has eaten my grilled cheese Sammy out of the communal fridge. My next mission is to find out who did it. What's up here? This is the conning tower. Who's that? Torpedo Man John. Hey, did you just push me? I think you just pushed me. What's up with that, John? What's wrong? So here I am next to a guy that just pushed me. And I have a sword in my hand. And he still pushed me. I'm going to turn the other cheek on that this time. The control room is this room. Now we're back on deck. I forgot who built this submarine, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I'll take a selfie standing in front of it. There's that volcano. What's this down here? Let's see. One very deep hole and one very shallow hole. That's odd. Huh. Okay, we're at the bottom of the deep hole. Let's go back up. There's nothing down here. I did hear some lava, though. Let's head over here to the pirate city. There's a mighty nice sailing ship. And what in the world? What are these guys doing? What is this down here? It's swimmers way out here. And a bird. Hey guys, what's going on? Gotta get the selfie. That might make a good thumbnail. Now here's that sailing ship. I have forgotten who built it. If you built it, take credit for it in the comments. It's been featured in another video or two. It's very good. Man, whoever built that built this wharf below us where the ships come in and unload. Here's that iconic skull pyramid. I do believe that we have went into that in a past video. And now we're back in the city limit. Here's those new larger lots. These lots are 4 times the size of the lots in the old section of town. I can't wait to see some big corporations build on those sites. And there's Patronville Lake. I wish we could see further out than we do, but I guess that's the limitations of the game. It has to draw things as we get closer to them. You can see that the city continues to grow. If you think you might like to play on this realm and support me through Patronville, just go to my Patreon page and get the details on being a member of the realm. There's the Ecology Center on the left and a nice new skyscraper on the right. Yeah, there's plenty of new structures waiting to be explored. And I'll eventually get to each and every one of them, I hope. The skyscraper on the right is an abandoned project. If any of the current realm Patronville citizens want to finish this building up, feel free. Just jump in and turn it into your own. Of course, try to keep it kind of realistic looking. Here's a new area that's been, it's now part of the city limit. It didn't used to be. And over here by the water's edge, I think Izzy is planning on building the Queen Mary 2 ocean liner, the QE2. Well, that's about 1,000-foot ship. I think it's just right at 990 something feet. I could be wrong about that. There's labs I'm not sure what that X meant. But I can't wait to see that ocean liner if he's able to pull it off and actually build that. That would be one heck of a project. Speaking of one heck of a project, look at these Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars, yeah. These spaceships, these vessels. I think Vinny built these. There's X-Wing fighters and TIE fighters and some other spaceships. This large one, I think, is a Star Destroyer. Vinny, you can correct me if I got that wrong. It's huge. If you see this video, maybe in the comments you can kind of give us some dimensions on this ship, because it is so huge. I only wish Minecraft could draw the whole thing out so that we could see its immense size in one screenshot. Unfortunately, all we can do is travel the length of the ship, and it draws as we do so. And like all other structures in Patronville, the citizens can actually go inside this ship. I think you can take a self-guided tour. But I imagine this ship is as big as the city of Patronville. We're back at the back end of the spacecraft. And look at those engines. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stand in one of the nozzles just to kind of give you a sense of scale. Yeah, how about that? That's humongous. And you can see things lit up under the water. Not sure what all of that is. It's obviously more things to be explored. Let's turn back and take one last look at the business end of the spaceship. That's crazy. That thing is so cool. Now we're approaching Lighthouse Park. Named after the lighthouse below us, obviously. It's a nice city-owned park. There's also a swimming pool over here. In between the park and the pool is a cemetery. Over here is a business called the Drunk Sheep, or the Drunken Sheep, I forget. I can't remember if these tables were out here last time I was here. This business has always been suspect in my mind for pulling in seawater and them using it in their beer. Now the owner of the Drunken Sheep, lady named Pink, yeah, she was the first citizen of Patronville. She built this, and of course the water does look like it's flowing out of the building, but maybe that's just leftover, I'm not sure. There's probably some kind of intake up under there, sucking it in. I've heard people say that the beer here tastes like seaweed. But I'm sure the proprietor of the business would strongly disagree. We'll take a peek inside. I don't see anybody. They're obviously closed right now. So what kind of there's a big sign over there. Did you see that? That thing is cool. Here's the pool. This is one of Izzy's structures. We're going to land on the diving board here and maybe do a dive. I think we'll attempt the triple landing. It's a very hard dive to make. Well, maybe I won't break my neck. Let's give it a try. Take a nice cool dive into the water. Yeah, I'm ready. Here we go. Man, I thought I was going to run out of air. But yeah, this is a really nice public pool. There's a lifeguard on duty at all times. I probably shouldn't be running right now, but what's that sign say? No running, no roughhousing. Okay. Where's the exit? Here it is. And as I mentioned, over here is the cemetery. We'll go around to the front entrance. This is one place that you don't want to be after the sun goes down. It is spooky in there. And there's a mausoleum that has a basement. And there's some pretty dark stuff that goes on down there. Yeah, stay out of the cemeteries. Here's a baseball stadium. It's a ballpark where the Patronville Jazz play all of their home games. The Patronville Jazz is owned by the richest guy in Patronville, named B.H. Jazz. Haven't seen him in a while. Jazz, if you see this video, let us know that you're okay. Down here is the hangar for the lead Zeppelin. That's it. It's a Zeppelin made out of lead. And it's spelled incorrectly. Should be Lead, actually. This is a pretty good size Zeppelin. It's no longer in service. These days it acts as you can rent it out for parties and slumber parties and conventions, seminars, that kind of thing, because it's pretty big inside. Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and youth groups and whatnot like to rent it out because you can sleep over in it. Here's the gondola where the passengers would normally sit, and here's the controls where the captain pilots the Zeppelin. But up here, there's more passenger and luggage space. There's a storage room, activity room. And here's the more storage and activity. People have dance parties and stuff in there. And all these beds, you can see why the youth groups and stuff like to rent this place. There's captain's quarters. Because it's not in service, there's not actually a captain. The leaders of the youth group would stay in that room. Here's an emergency exit. Wonder if it still works. Yep, it still works. Not sure why I was bouncing. What is that? A piece of rubber? What is that? Huh. Wasn't expecting the bounce. But that's okay. The bounce is good. Now there's a door here in this wall that leads down to the 5-star ravine. There's other ways to get to the ravine, and there's multiple ways to get to different places in Patronville. There's signs telling you where the stairs go to. And Gold Tower and the zombie and skeleton spawners. I need to go there sometime. It's been a long time since I've been to that. McDougal Handle Memorial Ravine. Take the down ladder to get to that. And zombie spawner up these stairs. I think we'll go up there to the zombie spawner, but let's read this subway station. Zombie spawner ahead. So I think you just follow the signs and the jack-o'-lanterns. It'll take you right to the spawner. Yeah, it's pretty hard to get lost. I mean, obviously these caves have been cleared out of monsters. Yeah, there's the spawner up ahead. Right now the realm is in creative mode. If we were to put it in survival, or if an individual player put his mode or her mode in survival, they could sit here and spawn and slay zombies. And then they could collect whatever the zombie dropped over here in this loot box. You know, what's in the loot chest? Not much at all. Now let me show you something kind of special. Some of you may not know it, but Henry McDougal-Handle, which is the character that you will see in my survival Minecraft videos, settled this area late in his life, and this is where he grew old and eventually perished in this fairy lava pit. He discovered the 5-star ravine in 1850, and this is where he met his demise while mining these diamonds. So yeah, out of respect, we ask everyone to leave these diamonds alone because, you know, below lies Henry McDougal-Handle. Henry lived a long life, but let me show you, this lava, you know, he was obsessed with trying to mine these diamonds, but every time he tried to mine them out, the monsters would come around and he would have to fight them. He eventually fell into the lava during one of the battles, and that pretty much ended the life of Henry McDougal-Handle. Now, I'm concerned about visitors falling into the lava. So let's build this glass wall. Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah, you can still read the signs. But we sure don't need anyone else to fall into that. And let's see, how do we want to address this? Let's make this stairwell a single stairwell instead of a double wide. Being a narrow passage might make the place seem even more special, more reverent than it is now. You see, Henry came to this area. You know, he had a very sprawling castle and everything somewhere. But he came to this area and liked it so much that he decided to make this his last stopover in this game called life. So he built a small farm, and being a miner, he started mining. You might be wondering how I know all of this about someone that passed away so long ago. And I'll show you here in just a minute. But that looks good. Now these, thought I heard something. Let's make this room just a little bit larger. That's better, because it was feeling kind of cramped. Let's get a torch. Yeah, I already had a blue one. That'll be fine. That's good. I like it. I like it a lot. Now there's a portrait on the wall. This is Henry McDougall Handel in his younger days. Here's the secret, though. It looks like a normal portrait. But keep this under your hats. You see that? I passed right through it. Yeah, some time back we discovered this this mine, and this was Henry McDougall Handel's mine. It's known as the Hanover Mine, and yeah, this is where he spent his last days. Here's his, it's a mine, has a bedroom in it. Here's his enchanting table. Obviously, no one has been down here in a very, very long time. Here's the actual entrance to the Hanover Mine. Cobwebs and moss have grown everywhere. And based on the loot I see in Henry's storage chest, he really pulled out a lot of precious metals and stuff out of this mine. It's kind of a spooky place to be. I imagine in Henry's day it was all lit up pretty well and nice and clean. But you got to remember, it's very old now. Yeah, this is kind of a special place to be. If you ever come down here, as a citizen of Patronville, just remember this is kind of like hallowed ground in a way. Henry was quite special. And you can see his exploits in my other Minecraft series, my survival series. But for now, let's get out of this mine shaft. here's Henry's storage chest. Amazingly, his valuables are still here. They haven't been looted, mainly because the citizens of Patronville are really good people. And, most of them now know about this place since it's been discovered. Now, in here is another one of the rooms that Henry worked out of, and here's his logbook over here. This is how we know everything. Let's flip it back to the beginning. My name is Henry McDougall-Handle, and if you have stumbled upon this journal, I must have passed on. I am 102 years old at the time of this entry. I have amassed a vast fortune in diamonds, gold, emeralds during my life of solitude, and my only real friends were my dogs, my skeleton horse Kevin, K.H., a fellow pioneer, and Jensen, a villager near my snow base that befriended me. In the chest are logbooks that contain the directions which will take you to my vast empire, which is now yours. The portrait in this room is of a younger me, taken before I set sail to stake out my own lot in life. But I am so old and feeble now and have grown weary of this life. The only thing that motivates me to get out of bed each day is the thought of mining the diamonds above the small lava pit outside my door. Each time I set out to mine them, I am attacked by monsters and have to fight them off. Time and time again, I almost fall into the lava pit during the heat of battle, and each battle leaves me weaker and weaker. I suspect I will eventually fall into the lava, which I imagine will be a kinder, more peaceful death than to fall into the hands of the monsters that have plagued me since the first day of setting off from my boyhood home. I ended up in this area after leaving my castle and vast empire at the age of 70. Yeah, boy, that's old. He was in search of more adventure before leaving this life. The great green plain above has been such an inviting place that I decided years ago that I would remain here forever in hopes that settlers would build a great city on that location. I spend my time down here and above ground at my small cottage where I raise chickens and a few head of cattle. There at my cottage I have buried some treasure, and these too are also yours. In return, all I ask is to be remembered. Sincerely, Henry McDougall-Handle. So there you have it. That's how we know what we know about Henry. And in the future, we're going to be setting sail from here and going out and looking for this castle that he talks of. Now, this hole that we're climbing out of, this is how we discovered this mine. We had built a baseball field outside the city wall of Patronville, and during that time, we stumbled across this hole in the ground, and we suspected it had a ladder at one time that went down. Ladder has long since. Boy, I'm stuck in this spider web. But yeah, the ladder's long since decayed, probably from the rain that would come down into the hole. We're going to have to break that web to get free. Whew. There. But yeah, this is what we found. We wasn't sure what it was, but the mystery of it obviously has been solved by Henry's logbook. I'm going to put the webs back. So this looks like some kind of foundation to something. So there's the wall, there's where the blimp is, or the Zeppelin. But from the air, you can see that there's a rough, crude stairway that goes down this hill. And at the bottom of the hill, there's looks like what's left of some kind of cattle pen, because you can see the fence post and the foundation. Maybe his cottage sat there. That was obviously his well. Maybe his barn may have stood there. Now there's a tree growing out of it now. But yeah, we speculate that this was Henry's little plot of land. Over here is the baseball field. And had this field not been built, Henry's secret probably wouldn't have been revealed. So let's go back through this door. And we're back on this side of the city wall. And speaking of secrets, Patronville has a villain. We don't know who it is, but the villain causes mischief from time to time. Patronville also has an agent that is investigating, trying to figure out who the villain is. And the agent, everyone knows, is a person we call Mason. And here's his house. And he has a basement with an outside entrance. And in his basement, he's been kind of working on the case, trying to figure out who the villain is. He has all these representations of citizens. And on the wall, he also has posted a lot of clues and theories about who it is. I've been down here before, but I did not know at that time that this room contains a secret. The secret is the portrait of Henry McDougal-Handle that hangs on the wall. Apparently you can go through it, just like that. Here's an elevator. And this is the first time that I've been in here. So this is as new to me as it is to you. There's a cake there, and I'm not sure exactly why. But yeah, this whole thing keeps getting weirder and weirder. So welcome to the headquarters, HQ. So Mason might be like the head agent, and he may have other agents that might be working with him on this whole thing. There's a portrait of Henry, taken in his younger years before he left his father's home. There's a book. What's this say? Welcome to the secret agent's secret lair. Feel free to grab drinks and snacks from the kitchen. Enjoy our fine lounge with 8K television. We only have one channel of 5 Marios walking, though. That's weird. Planning room is for agents only. Please take your shoes off. Well, he's pretty proud of this carpet, no doubt. There's the planning room. I guess agents only can go in there. Here's that big 8K television with Mario on it. At least we think it's Mario. Here's another cake. Huh. A lot of cakes around here. Evil Villain. IV. I'm not sure what that sign means. There's a kitchen full of food and snacks. There's another cake over there on the counter I noticed. And I just saw 2 more cakes. Any cake in here in the planning room? I didn't see any. Surprising. Cake is everywhere else. Can't go through that one. So let's head back up. That looks... Yeah, that looked like all there was to the headquarters. So we're back in Mason's basement. Can't go through that one either. Well, it's nighttime in Patronville. It's a nice house. Nice design. Let's make sure nothing's coming. And there's the Patronville Firehouse number 1. Here's the post office on the right. I'm going to go in here and check my mail. There's the postmaster. Mailboxes are downstairs. And if you're a citizen of Patronville, you have a post office box, or will have soon. Oh my gosh, I've got a lot of mail. I don't have enough places in my inventory to put it, I don't think. I think I'll unload my inventory and come back at a later time and collect the mail. And of course, if you're a citizen of Patronville, everybody respects everybody else's mail. As far as I know, no one is reading someone else's mail. But just in case, don't put anything personal in the mail. Here's City Hall. Now, because it's my realm, I'm the mayor, obviously. So we're gonna run up to my office. See the sign? Mayor's office upstairs. Got a nice view of the city. I've got a nice motorsports Green Bay Packers thing going on with my carpet here, with a checkered flag. And Hi R. I built a path to the patron fort on the roof of the Nether. It makes one realize how far away that base is from the city, as it is quite a distance in the Nether also. It would be fun to have a survival night there in the future. I also stopped by the Arcacia outpost where we had that survival night, just to refresh my memory, and happened upon that medieval village that was in the works when I first built the Arcacia outpost. I'm not sure who built it, but it might be Sev, but don't quote me on that. But I'm almost convinced it is the most spectacular build in the realm to date. I'll leave the directions to the dock below. Let's see, what's it say? Start off at the mini castle. Easiest just to take the ice road in the Nether. There's an ice road. Yeah, there's an ice road in the Nether. Takes just a couple seconds on the ice road, and then grab a boat from the harbor and exit the compound. You will see some red and white buoys that somebody placed. Just follow the buoys to the dock. So there's according to this mail from that I just now getting around to reading, Easy said there's a very spectacular medieval castle out there somewhere in the realm. So we're going to investigate based on that piece of mail that Izzy had given me some time back, it was in my mailbox from a previous visit to the post office. Okay, so there's some elevators down here, and we're going to go to the Nether portal, which I don't remember which floor it's on. Let's look in the directory. City Hall directory, blah, 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 level 1, Nether and End portals. That's what we want. Yeah. So we're going to go down to level 1. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah, end and nether portals. So there it is. Okay, we are now in the city of Patronville's nether base. And there's a lot to explore here, but we just want to go down this ice road. I think to make it quick, you have to have a boat. So let's put a boat on it. Here's our boat. And yeah, that's pretty fast. That is fast. Oh, that's the end of it. So what do we do now? Let's go out these doors. This is the nether quartz refinery that way. Let's go back. I don't see a sign. We need a sign. I hate these doors. Okay, I guess we'll go through the portal. Okay, I know where we are. We are at what we call Spawn Island. When you first join my realm, when you spawn to the realm, you come automatically to this island. And this structure that we're in is kind of a rough mini representation of Henry's castle. And Izzy built this, and of course he's watched some of Henry's videos on the survival world, so he knows what this looks like. So yeah, this is where you spawn to when you first come to the realm. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Looks a lot like Henry's castle. And this island happens to sit next to this other island, which belongs to the richest man in Patronville, B.H. Jazz. That is his island mansion. He's got a pretty nice house in town, and he's got other houses too. Well, once again, BH Jazz, drop us a line in the comments. Let us know that you're okay. I know I haven't heard from you in a long time. There's some cattle. And on this island, there looks like what is this? A horse farm? Well, that's interesting. Hey, there's a ship out here too. We'll cruise over to that in just a second. Is anybody on it? It's anchored here. Yeah, there's somebody. Ahoy, matey. Howdy do. Okay, so we're supposed to get into a boat according to Izzy's instructions and follow some red and white buoys. I see some buoys. So let's grab a boat. Let's drop down into the castle and get a boat. And we'll row out and follow the buoys. It's been a long time since I've been in a boat. I hope I remember how to steer. Let's open the gates. Now let's close the gates. And let's set out for this, what do you call it? A medieval castle. I think Izzy mentioned that there was something being built out here at one time. I don't recall ever going to it. But he says it appears to be finished at this point. Now, what's that off on the left? Is that some kind of, what is that, a house? Is that it? Is that the medieval castle? It doesn't look very medieval. Let's dock and get right up next to the shore. Let's check this place out. It looks abandoned. I don't see anything inside of it. Yeah, there's some artwork. Is this an art gallery? What is this? I think I saw a bed in there. This is an odd feature, but yet strangely satisfying. Now, where do the buoys go? I think there it is. They seem to stop right here. And there's some kind of dock here. Looks like a lot of stuff has been unloaded off of a ship or something right here. What's my frame rate? 42, 43, 42. And for some reason, it's really lagging right now. I wonder if my computer is doing something in the background. 42 frames a second, you would think would be smoother than this. I was playing some iRacing recently at like 280 frames per second on my other computer. I'm hoping this lag will clear up. This is all. Wow, that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Not sure what the problem was. Now, what is this up here? It's a huge wall. Man, look at this. This reminds me of that wall from that King Kong movie. That had a great big wall that they used to keep King Kong out of the village. Yeah, look at the fortifications. Look at man, that's one heck of a wall. I gotta get a picture of myself in front of this. Now that was a pretty medieval looking wall, so I'm going to assume that we are at this medieval village. And it's all inside of this great wall. So obviously it's a pretty fortified facility. It would be hard to attack it from outside. It would be hard for King Kong to get in if they had a gate. That's a strange looking mountain right there in the middle of the island. And what is that? Is that a lighthouse? It's blinking. What is this? Is that like a watchtower? That's cool. Well, there's a lighthouse. And it's blinking as well. I'm going to have to explore that and find out what is making that blink. It's obviously redstone, which I don't know anything about. Let's get a good overview of this place before we explore further. Is that a soccer field? That looks like a Catholic church. It looks like a basilica. That's interesting. There's a lot of little houses down there. There's other buildings. This is going to be pretty fun to explore. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Looks like a big crane on top of that mountain. Something was going on at that mountain. We're going to have to explore all of that. But you know, we're already at close to an hour and a half on this video, so I'm going to save this and we're going to pick it up here on my next Realm Minecraft video. yeah, there's just too much to explore. I want to do this right because it does look like quite the build, and I definitely want to do it justice. And if you built this, tell us in the comment that it was you. We want to know who did this. And I'm just going to set down on this dock, and yeah, this is where we'll pick up next time. I just need to get a selfie of me standing in front of this place. It's kind of dark. I need to maybe put a torch down and kind of light this thing up. Cast some light onto my face. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're still awake, you can let me know in the comments by repeating this secret phrase, which is I'd drawn a blank. How about mud-covered soccer ball? Yeah, mud-covered soccer ball. Be sure to give me a like. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. All those things really helps my channel. I know you don't have to do it, but I would appreciate it. So, thanks for watching.